Imagine walking into your own home, the one you built with love and loyalty, and realizing the woman you trusted most had betrayed you. Not with a stranger, but with someone who worked for you. That's what happened to me. And the revenge I took didn't just end the affair. It ended her fake empire, too. My name's Ethan. I'm 38, a contractor who started from nothing. My wife, Melissa, was my biggest supporter when we first got married. Or at least, that's what I thought. She helped with paperwork, managed clients when I was too busy, and always told people how proud she was of me. Together, we built a business that finally made us comfortable. We had a house, 2 cars, and what I believed was a happy marriage. But success has a funny way of revealing people's true nature. It started small. Melissa began taking a sudden interest in one of my new workers, Jake. He was 25. Charming and new to the crew. I hired him because he was eager to learn. But soon, Melissa started visiting the work sites more often than usual, bringing snacks and drinks for the team. I thought she was just being kind, until one day, I caught her laughing too hard at one of his jokes. The way she looked at him felt wrong. I brushed it off. I didn't want to seem insecure, but then came the late-night business, calls, the sudden shopping trips, and the way she'd guard her phone, like it was made of gold. My gut screamed something was wrong. One evening, Jake didn't show up to work. I called him several times, but no answer. Around midnight, I noticed Melissa wasn't home yet. She'd said she was visiting her sister. My mind spun. And that's when I decided to drive past her sister's place. Her car wasn't there. My hands shook as I gripped the steering wheel, my chest tight with anger and disbelief. I drove back home and waited. Around 1 a.m., her car pulled into the driveway. She looked startled when she saw me sitting in the living room. "Why are you up?" she asked, voice trembling slightly. "Just couldn't sleep," I replied calmly. I watched her every move, the nervous smile, the quick shower, the avoidance of eye contact. That night I knew the truth, but I needed proof. So, the next day, I went to a friend of mine who was a private investigator. He planted a GPS tracker on her car and cameras around the house. I hated myself for doing it, but something inside me refused to be lied to again. 3 days later, I got the call that changed everything. The investigator sent me footage, Melissa and Jake together, checking into a motel near one of our project sites. My stomach dropped as I watched the woman. I'd built my life with laughing and holding hands with one of my own employees. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I planned. I spent the next week pretending everything was fine. I even told Melissa I was going out of town for a few days for a big job. In reality, I was preparing my revenge. I met with my lawyer and made sure every asset, every account, and every company share was in my name. Then I quietly fired Jake, paying him his last check through Melissa's email, just to make sure she saw it. When I returned home, I invited all our close friends and family for a weekend barbecue. Melissa was excited, thinking I was making up for being distant. She dressed up, cooked her favorite dishes, and smiled like the perfect wife. Midway through dinner, I stood up and said, "Before we eat, I want to show everyone something that means a lot to me. A project that took months to complete." I turned on the projector connected to my laptop, but instead of blueprints or construction photos, the screen filled with the investigator's footage, Melissa and Jake at the motel. Gasps filled the air. Her mother covered her mouth. My best friend's jaw dropped. Melissa froze, her plate slipping from her hand. She turned pale as the video continued, showing everything she'd tried to hide. When the video ended, I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "You were the foundation of my life, Melissa, and you just collapsed it yourself." Then I handed her the divorce papers. I'd already filed. She begged, cried, said it was a mistake, but it was too late. I walked out that night with my dignity intact and never looked back. Within weeks, she lost everything, her reputation, her home, and her luxury lifestyle. Jake disappeared from her life as soon as he realized she had no money or power left. 6 months later, I heard she was living in a small apartment, working a minimum wage job. Sometimes I'd see her messages in my inbox. Unread. I'm sorry. Can we talk? I miss us. But I never replied. Because the man who once begged for her attention learned the most valuable lesson of all. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Now I live peacefully, surrounded by people who truly respect me. My business thrives, my heart's lighter. And justice. Well, justice was served cold. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.